I'm still on big screen. I'm sorry, guys.
If you're wondering who won the last game, I believe it was the Noxian Elite.
It was Stream of Scorpions.
Stream of Scorpions, yeah. I didn't know the team names. I have them organized in my browser, so I know who's who in game. But Catholic's first ban, we saw a very powerful Catholic's in the last game. Lone Scout doing absolute work on that champion, and is very strong as of late. He's also very simple to play. He's not very mechanically demanding. He's very forgiving in a champion, and so he's a very powerful pick that is decided to be banned away by the Pubstomp Poros. In return, the Icathian Void banned away Syndra. Very powerful mid laner, very common as of late as well. Great wave player, great assassination powers, and has a fantastic team fight. Also, I believe Syndra is one of Medeo's main champions. I know he plays a lot of Anivia and Orianna is kind of similar to Syndra, so.
Lee Sin ban and Tristana ban. Not gonna see Tristana this game.
Yeah, the Tristana power kind of didn't show too much last game, but is still obviously known as a very powerful pick. Lee Sin also a very high prioritized jungler as of late. Blue team opting to get rid of 2 junglers. Kind of surprising. The Icathian Void, their normal jungler is not even here today, so these bans just removing powerful junglers. Kind of surprising to me.
Well, let's see if it works out. They have 3 jungle bans at a jungler that we don't know who it is on the Icathian Void.
Yeah, the big thing is we're going to see 2 fresh junglers. Both Kha'Zix and Amumu were the junglers last game, so we're going to see completely new junglers. Nidalee banned was not banned last.
Evelyn is picked. You don't see her much anymore.
Oh
man, Mimi insta-locking Soraka.
Mimi knows the power. Soraka is an absolute monster on this patch. We're going to see if Mimi really does capitalize on Soraka's power. It's a very annoying champion to go against as of right now. And so I do expect this bottom lane to default to the purple team. We'll have to see. Actually surprising not to see the Lucian pick up here. If it was Lucian Soraka, I don't see that lane losing to just about anyone. Maybe the blue team will pick away the Lucian here. Also, the Aurelia first pick is a little weird because then it's able to be counterpicked.
You might have usually see an 80 carrier jungler there, but they're gonna go with. Oh, Medeo gonna go with the Anivia.
That's his key champion right there. He's the Froggen of Sirius Gaming Live. The guy plays a lot of Anivia and is very good with it. So we're gonna see Medeo on Anivia, likely to have a good performance on the champion after so many games of playing it.
Previously known as Aniviana Jones, did like to show his love for that champion in his name. Doesn't anymore, but still plays Anivia.
Yep, that doesn't change.
Josh Crafter hopping through some picks. Maybe going with the Shyvana? No? Twitch? We'll have to see.
I'll just have to wait to see what it locks in. If it's Twitch, I'm thinking it's 80 carry. I haven't seen Jungle Twitch in a while, but... Yep, so Twitch is locked in. I expect that to be an 80 carry Twitch, but we'll have to see. There's probably a 99% chance it is not Jungle Twitch, but there's always that little bit of excitement that could be there. And so with Twitch pick, though, we can see Purple Team probably going with Lucian here. Lucian is up. Who else is up? I don't even know any other champions. Vayne.
Vayne is up. Banzer picking for... I don't think he's going to pick a Veigar. Hovers over Zillion. This could be makings of some kind of protective Vayne comp, and we're going to see Zillion mid and a Vayne.
Yeah, the big thing about Vayne Soraka, I didn't think about it. Vayne's biggest problem is she can't get out of lane. She's very weak in lane. She takes a lot of damage due to her lower attack range. She doesn't trade extremely well early game. But Vayne Soraka against Twitch, well, if they trade, Vayne's going to take a lot of damage, but it's going to get healed up. So Vayne is actually probably pretty strong when it can combo with Soraka.
We're going to see the Nami likely here coming from Loon Shu. Fleur, formerly known as Jace Bane, does play some Udyr.
Plays a lot of Udyr, but the problem with Jace Bane's Udyr is it's very farm heavy. So we'll have to see. It's actually no, but it's gonna be a top Udyr, right? So
yeah, give me a top Udyr.
We have not seen Jace Bane's Udyr ever outside of the jungle. So not really know what to expect. We do know it's Udyr against Aurelia. Udyr does have a very good matchup against most melees, so it's probably a counter pick to Aurelia in the early game. But Aurelia probably scales very well against Udyr. And we do see Nami, Twitch, a very strong combo. We'll have to see if they're able to take down the Vayne Soraka lane.
And likely the last pick here is the jungle pick for Purple Team. Unless they are jungling Aurelia or Zilean, we'll have to say no.
Ooh, Maokai.
Might be a Maokai jungle.
Maokai, usually known in the top lane, but is not a weak jungler by any means, so could be a pickup here. They definitely need another person for their front line.
Would be really helpful. The only problem with jungle Maokai is you don't get to pick up a Rod of Ages out of the jungle. That is the one weakness of jungle Maokai. We'll have to see what he picks in order to compensate for it. Maybe he'll go the Spirit of the Ancient Golem for the health and armor. We'll have to see. But Best Rice Cooker probably has something cooked up for us.
Yeah, and the big thing is we don't actually see a lot of Zilean in serious gaming games outside of support. Mid Zilean is not something that's extremely common, but it's something that's very powerful. It sees a lot of play in competitive, and so definitely a very interesting pick here. If Banzer has experience against Medea's Anivia, I don't know which way this is going to go, but Zilean and Anivia likely to have big impacts on this game.
Zilean is quite the lane bully, and Anivia has the lowest base HP in the game, and those bombs are going to hurt. And could easily force Medea to really change up his game plan in this mid lane. Might have to play a little more passive against a Zilean.
Yeah, the big thing is Zilean's global XP aura. It doesn't affect the bottom lane's level 2. It does affect the level 3, though, so that could come into play. And in the top lane, it does affect the level 2. And Aurelia with level 2 is actually very strong. So we could see some early aggression from Aurelia if managing to pull off the level 2 sooner. And does have that help with the Zilean passive.
We'll have to see also... Oh my goodness, that was not what I wanted to do. We'll have to see also if Medic goes with this new Max E first Aurelia thing we've been seeing at Worlds. They've been using it to great effect for setting up ganks in the top lane and really making really a kill lane, as opposed to kind of like a farm till level 9 kind of lane, where you're usually trying to ramp up the W damage from maxing it first. So we'll have to see if Medic is up with that.
Yeah, I actually wasn't familiar with that. Every time I played Aurelia, I maxed T10 style and then Equilibrium Strike, but it could go the other way around. I actually see the strength in maxing Equilibrium Strike if you're going to be receiving a lot of ganks. And that could definitely be very helpful against an Udyr. You're pretty much always going to be lower HP, so it's definitely going to be, a 2-second stun around level 9. That's very powerful.
Yeah, it's gonna. We'll have to see what Medic chooses to go with. I was skeptical, but when I saw it in action, it's pretty crazy. Like level 5, it's a 1.5 second stun, and it hurts too.
Yeah, it definitely does a lot of base damage. That's why you usually max it second, but maxing it first kind of lowers their sustain as well, though. So if Udyr does get an advantage, and Aurelia doesn't have the sustain of P10 style, it could go the other way around if Aurelia doesn't receive the ganks.
So I'll have to see. Definitely gonna be an interesting lane though. Udyr, really known for being an aggressive top laner when he was good. When he was really like a meta pick back in, I think it's Season 2 is last I can remember him being a meta pick, though. Yeah,
it's back when Udyr and Warwick were big picks. Warwick countered Udyr, and that was the only reason Warwick was picked, and the only time Udyr was picked was when Warwick was not picked. So it was really interesting meta back then. Very sustained-heavy top lane. You used to buy Wriggle's Lantern in lane. It was a lot of fun. Your attacks would one-shot creeps, and you would receive the HP for the 600 damage that you did. It was an absolutely insane time in top lane.
I remember I loved the days of rushing Wriggle's Lantern top lane, and then and then also the AD carry would get Wriggle's Lantern, and then you'd converge on Dragon, and you just take it down in 5 seconds. It was pretty fun.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane. The game's a lot more balanced these days. Everything's a lot more standard. There's nothing way too crazy like Philosopher's Stone in Season 1 or Wriggle's Lantern was in Season 2. Even Black Cleaver was the most recent thing that happened in Season 4. So
Season 3, really, when it got released, it was pretty crazy.
Oh, Season 3, wow.
Yeah.
So long ago. Yeah, Black Cleaver. So, and the most recent thing actually was in Season 4 was the Targon's Brace meta, where every single person got Targon's Brace. So League, an evolving game, probably the most balanced it's ever been as of right now. But we do have a very interesting game that actually has nothing to do with the game that's going on right now. Got kind of sidetracked. Definitely something fun to talk about, though. Reminisce on the past. Speaking of the past, Zilean is part of the past. He was a Season 1 monster and then completely disappeared.
Season 2 as well. early season 2, back in the IEM days, I know that was a big contested pick for TSM. TSM and CLG loved the Zillion. Loved Zillion.
Yorick, Vayne.
Zillion, Yorick, and Karthus, stuff like that. Like, people, they were running it. Or Cassiopeia.
Yeah,
and
so
Yorick. Like, there's a lot of pretty cheesy comps with Revive ultimates.
Definitely a blast from the past. Aurelia also had her time where she was the queen of top lane, destroyed every single person she went against.
Yeah, there was a time
Vayne
when
had her time. Maokai has had his time right now. He's an absolute monster. Was a monster in the past. Soraka, man, do you want to talk about mid lane Soraka a couple months ago?
Oh my goodness, I abused the hell out of that. That's how I gained some elo right there.
Yep, Evelyn had her time. Every single champion in this game has had its time. Except maybe Nami. Nami hasn't really had its time.
Nami, I think she's pretty much the queen of healing bot lane currently. We'll have to see what Soraka can do.
Soraka's coming to take her spot as of this patch.
The sustain and dot lane dominance that Nami has brought. She's been one of the top supports in competitive play. Gianna kind of knocking her off lately in Worlds. But Soraka maybe making a resurgence. We'll have to see.
Yeah, I expect big things out of this Soraka. From every game that I've seen Soraka, I've hated it. I hate that champion so much. But let's see if Mimi pulls it off and just makes everyone else hate the champion as much as I do. Going into the game, though, who do you favor for this game, Fozz?
It's going to be interesting. I hate to bet against a team with Zillion and a hyper carry on their team, though. We'll have to see what Evelyn could do to get maybe in the backline onto this Vayne and really disrupt this Vayne. But when there's a Zillion that's an AP Zillion, which means Vayne's going to come back with full HP if she dies. And they're giving Maokai and Aurelia to peel for her after if she dies. And it seems like too much for Vayne to not die and get through these fights. We'll have to see what they could do on the side of the Pubstomp Poros. But I give the slight edge to the Icathian Void.
To the Icathian Void you go. I would go with Icathian Void. Actually, I'm just going to go with Icathian Void as well. Both teams have a lot of substitutes, so I think it's actually really hard to bet on a team because of that. But the composition, I think, definitely goes to the Icathian Void. Soraka with Vayne, going to have a good early game, going to scale very well into the mid game, and then obviously an amazing late game with all these champions. Their mid game is fantastic. Aurelia, Zillion, Vayne all have great mid games. Whereas...
I know what's causing this. Anyway, we continue.
Yeah, even though the Pubstomp Poros have a great mid game as well, it just doesn't scale as well into the late game as the Icathian Void. So they have a very equal mid game, but when it gets to the late game, I think it's going to Icathian Void 100%. That's my choice to win the game as well.
So I think I know what caused the crash last game, because it happened again. I think it's I just recently installed Baron replays, and I think that's might be what's causing it. So I'll have to make sure I don't have that enabled next game, but only missed 30 seconds. We're back into the game.
Yeah, but you're what, 40 seconds in? 41?
I'm 41. 42.
Yeah, okay, we're equal. So we actually see some early scouting for both teams. They're going to see a couple of champions. Zillion going to get scouted out, Maokai. Twitch. So, but everyone's going to stay pretty standard. Both junglers start in the bottom side of the map. Both top laners just sitting in the top lane.
Maokai gonna start that sapling toss. Gonna help him deal a little extra damage to this blue buff, as all jungle Maokais usually start. Nami already scaling up the W. The ebb and flow. Gonna use that to... Gonna keep Twitch healed in this lane, as Soraka likely gonna start her heal. Evelyn with a hate spike, as...
What do you mean?
Normal, yeah. Soraka already skilled up the W.
Evelyn actually looming around this blue buff. Actually a very late invade, possibly a smite away from Hirabashi GG. Is this a thing?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think so. Getting good damage.
Oh
on really
man,
fast.
this is... If Hirabashi doesn't get the smite here, this is absolutely huge.
Gets it. Oh,
He gets
Evelyn gets it. That is huge. Maokai is really weak without blue buff in his jungle.
Yeah, if Maokai smited correctly there, he smited a little bit early, he would have gotten the blue buff and set Hirabashi miles behind. But Hirabashi gets the blue buff, going to pick up a red buff as well as another blue buff. So a 3-buff start for this Evelyn. Nice smite there. A very risky play, but it pays off.
Maybe pulling off an inexperience of best rice cooker. We'll have to see. Maokai really low on mana right now, as is. Not getting any experience from that smite away either. So we're really far behind. Gets no leash onto his red buff. Well, let's see what Evelyn can do now. She's got a nice...
Yeah, this Maokai's not going to be doing any ganking for the time being. And Evelyn's actually going to get all 3 buffs very easily at the start. So Maokai going to have to stick to these little camps. Not even likely able to take his red buff. He doesn't have mana. Does get that level 2 though, which is pretty important.
And thanks to the Zillion, only 2 small camps get him to level 2. We'll likely farm up until he can go back for a Spirit Stone, maybe a Quill Coat, and that should definitely help him with his mana problems.
Man, look at the sustain of Soraka, keeping Vayne pretty much topped off at all times, even after taking harass from Twitch.
And from Nami. The Ancient Coin also going to help Soraka sustain herself. We'll give 5 health every last hit that she is present for, every minion that dies that she's present for.
Oh,
Medic getting stunned up by the Bear Sins, has to flash away. Currently with 1.0 his abilities. We'll have to keep our tabs on Medic, see what he chooses to max first. In the bottom lane, Soraka and going in for the circle. Double exhaust getting burned, so both exhausts are down. Vayne gonna walk away. Soraka gonna help her sustain. Yep, there's the sustain from Soraka.
Yep, Soraka absolutely just sustaining Vayne back to full HP already. She was just a quarter HP. Luckily, the Icathian boys bottom lane is able to push them on a tower and force them to make some very... Oh, bye, Banzer.
Oh, I missed that in the top lane. Mid lane. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, Banzer got ganked by Harabashi. GG Medeo lands a stun, and it was just bye-bye from Zillion at that point. It's a pretty big first blood going over to Harabashi GG, who already had the big experience lead in the jungle. Medeo picks up assist gold there as well. And Medeo also has a 5 CS lead in the mid lane, so... Or 4. Well.
Soraka though, healing up with his bottom lane. That's what I was trying to show you guys, because I was trying to show how ridiculous Soraka can be. She was at a little half HP, and now with some Q and the sustain from Ancient Coin, she's already almost back up to over 3/4.
Yeah, but Vayne getting a CS lead in this lane when she should have been having to back. I mean, it's just absolutely insane how much Soraka allows you to trade. And Vayne getting through lane against a Twitch, man, that's unheard of. So Vayne gonna be able to scale really well into this game.
She's gonna knock away the Nami. Gets bubbled up. Josh Crafter getting silenced by the Soraka. Getting chunked by the... I think that was the crit point from the Soraka Q.
Yep, Soraka Q doing big damage. Also the third proc of Silver Bolts from Hash Slinging Slasher. Mimi is actually getting pretty low HP though. That's the one downside of Soraka. She has to trade away her own HP in order to increase her AD carries. But here comes Best Rice Cooker.
Here he comes. He's gonna walk in. Either maybe look over to Lucha.
Oh, the
fail doesn't hit the wall. Well, Lucha going really low though. Couple morale attacks. Gets knocked into the turret. One morale attack. Hack and Slasher gonna pick up the kill, but Nami picks up the return kill. Not gonna go over to Josh Crafter. So good trade over to the red team, even though Hack Sling and Slasher went down.
Yeah, great trade there. Although they did get it was a gank. It was time spent by Maokai in the bottom lane in order to get a 1-for-1. So not a huge advantage, but Vayne getting a kill is pretty big in the early game.
Really?
She's going to get that cut. Oh.
Really going with that W max, so... Oh, Best Rice Cooker getting spotted out by Harabashi. He's going to let him go. He's going to counter jungle those wolves.
Yeah, besides the counter jungling and not letting people know where he is, it's very important that the enemy team doesn't know where Evelyn is. It allows them to play aggressive. Had Aurelia known where Evelyn is, she could probably go in on Udyr, but instead has to force farm, which isn't so bad.
Aurelia is up 12 CS in this top lane. Has double Doran's Blade along with that W heal. Gotta help her out.
Bans are getting some very negative trades. Gets absolutely chunked by Medeo's Anivia. The base damages from Anivia are quite high, and when in combo with her freeze. There's another.
Chunk 223. Sarai's Banzer isn't being more aggressive with his bombs. He is quite a little bit low on mana, but he has the Tear of the Goddess and the Doran's Ring.
Oh, here comes Harabashi GG looking for the second blue steal of the game. He is going to catch for best rice cooker out. Has the ultimate.
Has ultimate. It's a smite fight. She gets it.
And here goes Video, best rice cooker.
And Josh Crafter. Rice cooker has to flash away. The heal from Mimimi. Not going to be enough. Harabashi GG. He's going to pick up the kill on their best rice cooker.
And this could be a dragon for them as well. They do have control. Banzer's quite low in HP. And best rice cookers get dead for 10 seconds. So this should be a dragon towards the Pubstomp Poros. And they're getting a pretty big lead in this early game.
And Josh Crafter going to top that. Oh, Banzer getting caught out with the wall. Going to get absolutely chunked out. He's going to have to go back to base. The teleported from Aurelia. They're going to try to stop this. Here comes Hash Single Slasher. They're going in. Her Bashi goes down. They're going to try to
get going to go to them.
They're going to go to red. Medeo not grouping might have cost them that dragon. Did force up Zillion, but was slow to get to the dragon.
Yeah, Medeo with a huge mistake, just going to harass Zillion and get farm in the mid lane instead of getting the dragon. The dragon goes over to the Icathian Void as well as a kill. Great teleport by Medical 4 on Aurelia.
Medic with the clutch teleport, getting in there right when he needed to. And Mimi with the scout and the ward. Mimi getting a little shot, getting shot at by Mimi, going HP. Really low. Josh Crafter getting turned on. Hash Sling and Slasher going also really low. Has the ult and
wow.
Gonna turn it on to Josh Crafter. No, he's not. Gonna get healed up.
And Mimi might have actually died there had he not hit the Star Call. He healed for, I believe, 80 damage or 80 HP there. Wow, that was absolutely huge that he hit that.
Oh, he gets another heal, 96 HP. That's a lot.
He was dying to the Twitch poison that was 5 stacks. I mean, that was great play by Mimi. Nice little things like that is what keeps you into these games.
Gets another heal. Zraka gonna sustain herself up with those Star Calls.
Where does it say Star Call heals around her skill set? It doesn't even say.
On her W.
Oh, it does. Okay. Yeah, so those are healing for
quite a bit.
84 to 90, or so 51 to 113, depending on where they're standing in the Star Call.
It depends on how high her lower health is.
Oh wow.
Health.
Okay, so, I don't know much about this champion besides how OP she is.
I guess we can tell now, Vamps.
Alright, right now we have the Pubstomp Poros on the blue side against the Icathian Void on the red side. That's who is currently playing right now. And the Pubstomp Poros have a slight early game lead, but the Icathian Void biting back at it with a beautiful Dragon Steel and nice teleport from Medico 4 earlier in the game.
Oh, Boonshoe gets thrown into the wall. And in this bottom lane, Mimi's almost at full HP again. And he didn't go back.
Yep, and is still able to sustain up this Vayne for any harass that she takes.
And Vayne has got a CS lead because, honestly, Twitch can't force out our lane.
Yep. That's exactly what's happening. Hashling and Slasher never has to leave lane because of the sustain from the Bilgewalder Cutlass Doran's Blade, as well as the insane sustain from Mimi's Soraka. Here comes Harabashi.
GG. Medic, though, doesn't want to fight Flair's Udyr.
Yeah, he smelled something there because he had no vision on Harabashi.
You know, Harabashi was here recently. He goes in for the CS, and so does Harabashi. He's gonna have to flash away, trying to heal up with the blue. Oh, that's the stun! Gets the kill under turret. The Soraka. He's gonna try to turn it. Will he get it? No. Fleur gets away with a sliver of HP with the turtle stance, but Medico 4 with the turn on Aurelia, showing he knows how to play this champion, play it well.
Great stun out to Evelyn, and then the Soraka ult to almost kill Udyr as well. Absolutely insane. That looked really grim for Medico 4 for a second there, and then
Lunshu getting knocked in the turret. Hacksling and Slasher going in on Lunshu. Lunshu has the flash. No mana from Hacksling and Slasher means no advance. The Rat-tat-tat gets burnt by Twitch.
Actually, kind of a weird fight there. Nobody really comes out ahead. Both teams are going to look to back. A wave is on Vayne's tower. But
she's likely gonna probably push that out and try to get back for the lane. See how much money.
Yeah, 16.
Almost got 16. She needs a little bit more gold for Blade of the Ruin King. Not gonna stick around for another wave to pick it up though.
Actually,
Best Rice Cooker trying to come in onto this mid lane. Not gonna get anything going. Getting forward. This mid lane really low.
And Vayne's gonna actually stick around for the Blade of the Ruin King. Only needs 40 more gold, so we'll easily pick it up with the last couple minions in the lane.
Medeo getting struck by a bomb.
Medico 4 picks up a Bilgewater Cutlass and a Sheen. Actually kind of surprising. I'm not familiar with the build. Usually you choose to rush Trinity Force, but actually looking for the Blade of the Rune King in this game.
Maybe even looked for both. We'll have to see. I mean, you got the Sheen.
Yeah. Maybe he decides that he really wants to active from the Bilgewater Cutlass.
That slow can be really helpful, though.
But it has a red buff right now. I think Fleur's actually... If he overextends just a bit...
Mimi gonna get caught out. Soraka really squishy, gonna get absolutely destroyed by Evelyn and Anivia. Another kill over to Harabashi GG, 3 and 2.
And another blue steal from Harabashi GG. This is the third one of the game. So far...
Zillion hasn't got a blue buff, neither has Maokai.
Neither has Maokai. The Icathian Void have not touched the blue buff so far this game. Medico 4, though, is actually very dominant in this top lane right now. Could go on to Fleur anytime he wants, as long as he knows that Evelyn is not around. Dragon will be up in about 58 seconds, and both TPs from the top lane are up.
Medic trying to get some damage down onto Fleur. Fleur getting chunked out. Gonna go in with the Phoenix stance.
Medic decides he doesn't think he's gonna win that fight.
That is a
with the red buff, I do think he would, but interesting choice to not fight. Has the flask, we'll try to sustain up.
Goes in onto Fleur, gonna try to go in with the Translucent Blades. Going in onto Fleur, Fleur's so low. A couple hits from dead. The Turtle Shield will save his life.
They're gonna force Fleur out of lane. Best Rice Cooker was looking for the dive, but Fleur smells something. Uh-oh. He could still get caught out by Maokai, and does not.
Does not.
So we'll be able to back and TP 2 Dragon in 10 seconds. Red does have the timer on it, but so does Blue. They had a word on it when it died. Or, my bad, Icathian Void has the timer, so does Pubstomp Poros. Icathian Void did get the last one with a kill onto Harabashi GG, so we'll see if they do manage to pick up another one. The goal lead is only 400, and Icathian Void do have the better scaling composition, so we'll see if that comes into play now. Blade of the Rune can complete on both 80 carries. Medeo has a lot of gold in the bank, though.
Medeo has 2,000 in the bank, so that's a lot of gold. That lead that they have if Medeo's in the fight is non-existent because he's got 2,000 of it in his pocket. So even Evelyn has 1,200, so you have to do it all recently backed in Birches except for Zillion, so they have the edge right now in items if they all group.
Yeah, the big thing is Medico 4 decided to walk down.
Medico 4 gonna go in, gonna get Evelyn gets jumped on, Maokai gonna ultimate, the Namiel hits all 5, Josh Crafter going hard onto Maokai, Evelyn goes down. Hacksling and Slasher gets chunked up by Medeo's and Nivea.
Udyr's here, though.
Udyr here from behind. He's all by himself, though, versus 4 members of Red Team. Blue Team trying to collapse. The stun into the Dragon Wall. Banzer picks up the kill. Hacksling and Slasher going in onto Josh Crafter. Not going to pick up any more kills. Medic, though, going to try to zone. Maybe looking for this Dragon, but Mimi is extremely low. At no low HP. Uses the last heal he has possible to heal up Hacksling and Slasher. Medic goes in, trying to get the pick onto Lunshu. Lunshu will go down. The heal is popped, but it's too late for Lunshu. Oh, now Hacksling and Slasher gonna get chunked. Gonna knock away Medeo. Gets stunned by the Nivea's.
Which has red buff.
And gets another Crystallize. We'll take him out.
Wow, the Icathian Void overstayed way too long there. They got a kill and they ended up dying for it. They could have just backed, gotten the Dragon after, but instead now they're going to lose the Dragon after losing 2 deaths, a shutdown on 2 Medico 4, huge lead, swing back over to the Pubstomp Poros.
Oh, wall up, prevents Best Right Cooker from coming in. That's going to be the Dragon as he's zoned from the fight.
Yeah, very crucial mistake there by the Pubstomp Poros. Got really overzealous and thought they could take the fight. Ended up losing very hard in the end, though.
That was the Icathian Void.
Or the Icathian Void, yeah. The Pubstomp Poros come out ahead. Other way around. Names.
So 1 Dragon to 1, 1 turret to 0. Slight lead right now to the Pubstomp Poros. Best Rice Cooker trying to take his red buff. He knows that someone's in the bush. The lizard was just hitting Fleur. So he's going to pick it up, but now he's getting jumped on. And now Medic is here. They're looking maybe to jump on him.
Harabashi is scouted.
Scouted on a pink ward. Hacksling and Slasher maybe going on to Lunshu, not going to. Banzer gonna face check a bush, gets the ward down, but he's gonna likely go down. Mimi will he be able to sustain him up? No, he won't. Not another heal in time to save Banzer's life.
Yeah, I don't really know what Banzer was thinking there. They just saw 2 people on the ward in their red side jungle and decides to try to face check a bush. pretty big mistake there. He does get a ward down, but it's just far too late.
Lunchu.
They pick up another tower.
They picked up another turret. 2 turrets and none. 3,500 gold lead.
Towards the Pubstomp Poros. Pubstomp Poros not giving the Icathian Void time to scale into their composition strengths. So very nice play by them.
They're going to pick up another turret in the spot lane. Josh Crafter hammering away with this Twitch. Hexling and Slasher are going to come down to the bottom lane, though.
We see the Pubstomp Poros looking for a collapse here on the bottom
Fleur
lane.
coming in. The wall stops Vayne's retreat.
Oh my.
She's gonna get destroyed. Lunchu picks up the kill. Medico 4 teleports in. They're gonna go into her. Bashi GG. The Maokai ult gonna try to keep him sustained up. Medico 4 getting bubbled. Gonna go down to Josh Crafter. Best rice cooker gonna have the Zillion ult. Gonna fall with it. Gonna get revived. Best rice cooker gonna get jumped back on again. Gonna go down to Mideo. Double kill for the Anivia. Now they're pressing in onto this inhibitor turret. They're going to pick it up with the wave clear that Anivia provides. Another turret and a big lead now for the Pubstomp Poros.
3 for 0 there by the Pubstomp Poros. 2 of them going over to Mideo on Anivia.
And another blue buff steal.
And another blue buff. That is the 4th of the game. Not a single blue buff has gone to the Icathian Void yet. And what happened there is Best Rice Cooker went in. They tried to collapse onto Fleur, but it just doesn't work. Medical 4 drops for it. Hashling and Slack should drop. Or no, not Hashling. Me, and Best Rice Cooker all dropping them there.
Hashling and Slasher did drop really early in that fight.
Yeah, really early. Comes back, but is not able to do anything because of the strong front line and Anivia ult from the Pubstomp Poros.
And even with the Zillion passive, Best Rice Cooker is still down 2 levels to Evelyn, just because the sheer power just stealing away those buffs.
Yeah, a lot of buff XP going over to Hurabashi
and the
GG.
kills.
Also 4-3-3 to 0-3-2. Hurabashi having a great game.
Mideo flawless right now, involved in 10 of his team's 12 kills as well. Showing up big time for his team. Chunking Banzer, gonna get the stun on him.
Oh my
Banzer
God.
goes so extremely low. The minion's not able to finish off. Mimi gonna sustain him up.
Yeah, Banzer barely living there. Not huge damage coming from Mideo.
Soraka gonna heal up Banzer and then head back to base to heal herself. Vayne ends up picking up the way of the Rune King, but is a whole BF sword down to this Twitch.
Yeah, they're actually even in CS, but Twitch in 2 kills, 6 assists, has a dragon to a dragon, but also 4 towers in Twitch's name. So, pretty significant gold lead over to him.
Zillion finish up the Seraphs, the Archangel Staff, not fully a Seraphs. You're gonna have to spam out those abilities a little bit more in order to pick it up. Double stun from Mideo. Medic trying to maybe go fancy his chance in this fight. Not going to go in, though. Mimi getting it healed up by that struggle. 97 health. Crystallize goes out. Not going to land on anyone. Silence from Soraka. Hurabashi gets spotted out by the true side of the turret. Now they're really just trying to hammer in this turret while Josh Crafter split pushes the bottom. Josh Crafter already on the inhibitor turret. Someone's going to respond to this. Josh Crafter will take it. He's got a lot of damage.
Yeah, here comes Maokai and Vayne, but Josh Crafter going to smell something, going to pop his stealth and just get away for
and
free.
That's going to be a free mid turret for the Pubstomp Poros. Good use of the split push with Twitch, but now Banzer going really low. Has to pop the ulti onto himself. Chrono Shift will bring him back to life. Swing and Slasher going really low. The sustain from Soraka going to keep her in this. Medical for taking all of them. Best right going in. Swing and Slasher trying to deal damage from the back line, but Josh Crafter almost takes down Best Rice Cooker, but another clutch shield from Soraka keeps him alive. A 1-for-0 exchange currently, but Soraka and Maokai really low.
Wow, what should have been an ace for the Icathian Pubstomp Poros ends up being only a 1-for-0, and they're all very low HP, and this is all due to Soraka. She made Vayne go from 0 to 100 HP at the end of that fight. Saved Best Rice Cooker from falling at the end, and also put some big heals on Medic to allow him to live a little bit further. So the Soraka pick definitely showing his strength. But the overall composition from the Icathian Void is just too far behind at this point. Though they have a great inter late game, they're just not able to scale. Medeo's Anivia is just doing absolute work, while Zillion is just extremely far behind.
Yeah, Vayne needs at least another whole item before she's really starting to deal her damage. And I don't think that they're going to get enough time. They're 10,000 gold down. It's looking really grim for the Icathian Void. They're going to have to see what they can do to stall this game out. They don't have too much wave clear. Zillion bombs might be enough, though.
Yeah, and even though I say that they have a better scaling, it's only because Vayne does, has better positioning and stuff like that in team fights. But Twitch has a lot of damage in late game team fights.
Yes.
His spray and pray does a lot of damage. And Nivea does a lot of damage as well. Her scaling isn't the craziest, but her base damage is carry her to that point, and it's more than enough to take her into the late game. Udyr is kind of the only champion that's iffy late game because he's easily kited, but outside of that, they do have a great late game as well.
Udyr not even choosing to go with an offensive item in this game, just picks up a Frozen Heart.
Yeah, I think he figures Medeo and Joshcraft are doing more than enough damage.
Just wants to be that bear stance tank. Oh my goodness, Hassling and Slasher going so low. Has to dodge away from another Crystallize.
Mateo almost picks up the kill there on Hashling and Slasher. Does not get the E off, though.
Medeo not able to get the Frostbite off to execute Hashling and Slasher before he was able to get away. Heals up on the Fountain. Gonna pick up a Zeal. Getting close to maybe a Statue or a Phantom Dancer.
Yeah, but Zillion's got it on the ward. Lunchu looks like she's trying to collapse, but overall nothing happened from that. The Icathian Void have some pretty good wards in their own red side jungle, and so this allows them a bit to, not face check wishes later in the game when it comes to Baron, but it might not be enough. I mean, the Icathian Void is up 11,000 gold. Or the Pubstomp Poros up 11,000 gold over the Icathian Void. I mean, that's a lot of gold.
A huge disadvantage. Best rice cooker getting jumped on.
Oh,
the double bubble from Nami. The Nami tidal wave is going through. Best rice cooker gonna get revived from the Chrono Shift. Vayne trying to do as much damage as possible. Best rice cooker gets the heal from the Soraka ult. Gets another heal from the Soraka W. Medeo. Oh, Medic goes in, gets a kill onto onto Harabashi. GG. Medeo into egg form. Will he be able to get out of it? The bubble, he gets out of it, trying to turn it, not gonna pick up another kill. Josh Crafter in the meantime split pushing in this top lane, picks up another turret for the Pubstomp Poros. Medeo's perfect game is down, but a turret is taken in that fight. Josh Crafter trying to jump onto Medic. I don't think it's the fight that he can do. Mimi is really close. He has to flash away. Medic 04 gonna take him out.
Mimi might drop.
Mimi might drop. Will he be able to? Will he survive? The potion will keep him alive.
Oh wow. Yeah, Josh choosing a bit more often than he could chew. Ends up falling to Medic. Medic picks up 2 crucial kills. Well, the assist on Anivia, which was Medeo's Anivia, which was 500 gold shutdown. Which is, I think, 250 gold to him. So a lot of gold being transferred over to Medic. Vayne also got an assist on that, and Straka picks up the kill. So big shutdowns there. Medic also picks up a kill onto Nami's Lunshu, or Lunshu's Nami. And so a nice little comeback there for the Icathian Void. But I'm not so sure it's enough. Though Aurelia is really a great scaling top laner, at this point she's building Trinity Force and Blade of the Ring King. That's a very squishy Aurelia. So if they focus it in team fights, all that gold is just going to go to waste.
Lunshu, oh, the wall from Anivia gonna force them up the alleyway. Mimi gonna get taken out by Medeo.
Oh,
meanwhile, Banzer getting shot down by Harabashi. He's gonna go down without the current shift actually coming off cooldown.
So and Medeo, cool guys don't look at their explosions, walks away as he throws the Q knowing it's gonna hit Best Rice Cooker. Picks up a cheeky little kill there. They're gonna look for this inhib turret.
Turret going out really low. Josh Crafter meanwhile split pushing the bottom lane. Gonna try to push this lane up. They're gonna maybe go for double inhib turret, maybe even double inhibitor. They're working on the inhibitor. They're doing it really slowly though, because they do not have Josh Crafter with them, their main source of attack damage.
Yeah, Josh Crafter has been splitting pretty much all this game. Besides not the team fight. Oh, here comes Medic.
Medic 04 getting absolutely chunked by the Anivia. He's going to get one more. He goes down to Medeo. Medeo is just so huge right now. Harabashi going in.
There comes Josh Crafter, too.
Josh Crafter has joined the fight. And now they can maybe focus their attention to bottom lane. The Rat-Tat-Tat goes up, trying to...
There's a big wave on this bottom lane turret. Medical for their big source of damage is gone. They do have Hashling and Slasher, but he could be very easily caught off guard.
And there's another inhibitor turret going down. And the wall off for Medeo means no engage from the Icathian Void. They're going to have to back off.
Yeah, the Pubstomp Poros didn't want to fight there. They decided that they have a lot of gold in their inventories, have a lot of people that are very low HP. Let's not throw the game here. Let's just go back, buy items, and come back for that inhib later. And that's exactly what they're going to do. They're up 14, almost 15,000 gold over the Icathian Void.
Yeah, the Pubstomp also have the timer for this dragon, so they're going to be able to pick this up when it respawns in 30 seconds.
Linshu eliminating what little wards are left for the Icathian Void. Do have 2 pink wards in their jungle, but outside of that, not much vision for them.
Baron at this point in the game is definitely an option for both teams. Vayne able to shred through with the Silver Bolts, as well as the Blade of the Ruined King.
Uh-oh, Josh Crafter looking for the pick here. He's actually scouted out on a ward. He's completely... Him and Medeo are really far out of position.
Oh, Mimimi gets separated from Medic. Medic is trying to assassinate Medeo. Picks up the kill. Does falls to the poison and ignite. Josh Crafter going to go down.
And a 2-for-1 there. The gold is that's pretty big. That's pretty big for the Icathian Void. But they're still so far behind.
They're going to have to take a lot of those picks in order to come back from this. We'll see what they can do. Moonshoe going to clear out wards around the Baron. Not going to be able to get any more with that upgraded sweeper. Hashling and Sliders taking out the double golems, trying to get as much farm as possible so he gets this late game build. Moonshoe spots out a pink ward, going to clear that out. And these super minions gonna prevent the Icathian Void from contesting this 4th dragon of the game. It's gonna go over to the Pubstomp Poros uncontested. Their 3rd dragon of the game.
Yeah, I was just looking at a replay of what happened in that last fight. There's some interesting all-chat comments, not really relevant to the game. But, yeah, in the meantime, the Pubstomp Poros pick up a dragon.
I believe they're 3rd of the game, if I stand correct, unless I stand corrected.
And so it's interesting. Will Icathian Void get their first blue buff of the game? It's not very looking like it. Medeo is coming in for it.
Oh, Medic gets completely zoned by the wall.
Actually, a really weird wall by Medeo here, but here comes Fleur.
Oh,
Best Rice Cooker got chunked by Medeo there.
I just realized I've been calling Anivia Stun Crystallize when that's her wall. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just stupid.
And another blue buff going over the Pubstomp Poros. Shouldn't come as a surprise at this point. There's a huge gold lead. Oh, nice wall there by Medeo. Medical Force all alone.
He's going to get absolutely chunked by Medeo. Medeo, with the Flash Frost, going to split him up and use the Frostbite to kill him dead. And Hashling and Slash are going to run away with low life. The Zillion ulti was used onto him, so Zillion goes down.
That should be the end.
Vayne gets comes back alive, but immediately gets taken down by Josh Crafter. Another inhibitor's down.
And that should be the end of the game. We'll see if they decide to try to get more kills instead. They're going to get the kills anyway.
Adding wrecked by Medeo. So fed with 3-item Anivia.
Yeah, I don't think we're ever going to see Medeo playing Anivia again. Fantastic game from him. Josh Crafter split pushing a lot of the game. Played very well though. Everyone on the Pubstomp Poros showing up, and Fozz, we were wrong about the predictions for this game.
Completely wrong.
Falls for the Pubstomp Poros. Pubstomp Poros picking up their first win of the season. They're currently 1-1 now. The Icathian Void pick up their 2nd loss. searching for that win. Probably next game.
Hopefully they can get it next game. But what else can we talk about that game? Just Medeo went off on Anivia, and I just like you said, Vamps. I don't think we're gonna see Medeo and Anivia again this season.
It's honestly surprising to not see a ban. In the first game Medeo played, it wasn't banned either, but Medeo decided to go Orianna. Did not have a very good performance on that as well. Had an okay performance, not as good as the Anivia though. Anivia absolutely showing up, completely doing work for the team. And I did want to point out that Soraka was very, very strong in that game, and I was not incorrect about that. Soraka very potent, very, very potent. It just was not enough. The Icathian Void fell too far behind. Pubstomp Poros just took advantage of that and completely controlled the game. And a lot of it started with Hirobashi's early blue steal. That really could have spelled the game on its own right there. Had Hirobashi not gotten the blue, he would have not gotten a leash on the red buff and would have been behind 20 seconds, 30 seconds on his jungle. That could have been pretty big, and Maokai would have been to his jungle. So.
Evelyn's also quite squishy in her jungle until she really gets that blue for the faster clear, so she might have, or Hirobashi would have been really far behind just from on health. Might have had a recall after the red buff.
Yeah, don't really know how the game would have turned out had that happened, so.
We'll never know.
Same point there. But the big plays do turn out. Medeo, Hirobashi GG, Fleur, Lunshu, Josh Crafter, they all show up big in their game. A lot of substitutes showing that they do have what it takes to play in the league. So, great game from the Pubstomp Poros. And GG to the Icathian Void. They played well, just not well enough.